Welcome to the top four of the Seattle Washington Regional Championship. My name is Kenny Wisdom, and on your screen we have Mia Violet and Chase Moloney playing in the semifinals. Mia is going to start things off. It looks like she may be playing the same deck that she played in Standard. As a reminder, this tournament is in the expanded format, which means it features cards from black and white on. But we see Mia open up with a Keldeo, a Jinx, and the double colorless in her hand, excuse me. So I think, yeah, there's the Toad. So she may be playing a slightly different version. A lot of what happened in Expanded, because Expanded is a newer format, it's only black and white on. You sometimes see basically Standard decks just ported over. You know, there are a few decks that are basically only see play in Expanded. Excel Gore, things like that, but most of the time what you see is just various levels of edited Standard decks. So, you know, you might see a Virizion Genesect that just has Sky Arrow Bridge. You might see a Landorus Crobat deck that has level balls, and I'm not sure what she has in this case. Tool Scrapper, I see looking through her deck. I think that just might be it. You know, a lot of the times, like I said, the expanded format is so new and it's so close to Standard that the decks don't necessarily need to be very different. We're going to see the Keldeo retreat into the Jinx and pass the turn. Now Chase, on the other hand, as I said during the top 8, is playing Yveltal Archeops. So the Archeops has never really seen competitive play, at least successful competitive play, but what's happening is the Archeops has an ability that prevents evolution. So not going to matter versus Mia too much. We did see that Mia has the Dusknoirs. She is doing it for Dusknoir, as they say. But that's not really going to be the main focus of Chase's deck, but thankfully he doesn't lose too much, because he still has just the basis of a solid Darkrai Yveltal deck. It's just that there's a few slots dedicated to that Archeops. So it's unfortunate that Chase has those, you know, nearly dead cards, although his deck is pretty normal. And also, you know, getting out the Archeops to stop the Dusknoir is a real threat. Like, the Dusknoir is powerful, and Mia certainly knows how to play Dusknoir better than probably anyone on the planet. So being able to prevent that from happening and not letting Mia do her tricks is definitely, there is some value in that for sure. So let's see what we've got here. Chase Stellar Guidancing for Professor Sycamore. DCE on the Yveltal. There's a Dark Patch, and Dark Patch is one of the most powerful cards in Expanded. Just an incredibly efficient energy acceleration strategy. We saw, you know, Darkrai was between the very best deck and a very good deck for years in Standard. It won Worlds in 2012, won Worlds in 2013. Just an incredible card, and a lot of that was due to Dark Patch. You see the Muscle Band on the Yveltal. Mia draws to the turn. It is a weakness policy. DCE and no supporter. That's happening. Yeah, it's going to go ahead and ship the turn back. Chase top decks the computer search. Can't play it. He is under that Quaking Punch lock. And there's a Sycamore. Chase would like some way to retreat this Darkrai. He does draw the Darkness Energy. There's a second Yveltal EX. And Chase is going to go ahead and do 140, it looks like. You could also decide to Nope, so he could decide to Y-cycle in there, but I think he just wants to be aggressive. Mia draws. It's a super scoop up, so that's actually pretty big. And it's a tail, so yeah, that's gonna be. This might spell the end of the match for Mia. Chase just so far ahead. Mia has a few more draw steps to really figure something out. And if I'm Chase here, I just start building up that other Yveltal. Perhaps you go with the Darkrai too, but he just chooses to build up the big Yveltal. Go ahead and call rest for 6. Building up the first Yveltal is nice too. Chase does have the option to Y-cycle here, but if he just wants to go all in on one Yveltal, like Mia needs, multiple good things to happen to be able to stop that. And Chase with a DC and 2 Dark along with that Muscle Band, he's doing 120 base. So, he tests another energy, he's doing 140 base. It's going to knock out anything with an energy or 2 on in Mia's deck. So Chase is pulling super far ahead here. He also chooses to Y-cycle onto that Darkrai and get the nice spear online for next turn, but looks like he's just going to go ahead. And what's the draw for Mia? Oh, I think it was a Dusknoir. Not much going on. Weakness policy doesn't do anything. He's going to go ahead and retreat to the Jinx. Chase takes his turn. Battle Compressor was the draw. Chase is no longer under item lock.
Juniors and seniors, top 4. Please report to the play area. Trading card game juniors.
So we could see DCE plus Lysander plus Laser. I think just an energy plus Lysander plus Laser or a catcher effect would do some work here. He can take out the Jinx. Chase has a lot of options, and it's in spots like this where I feel that some players, Chase is probably, 80% to win this game right now. Mia has basically 2 more turns. She has the next turn and the turn after that, and at maximum. And she is just, Chase is so far ahead here, but he is playing correctly. He is thinking about his plays. He's taking his time. He's trying to do everything right to where, if some people might think that you look foolish or look like you don't know what you're doing if you, take a long time to win or, don't see the win in your hand or whatever it is, but you would look a lot more foolish not winning the game and throwing it away because you got overconfident. So I really like it's one of the marks of a good player, a great player in Chase, is that he is just doing everything correctly and still, playing, it's his game to lose at this point. And Chase is resolving that Battle Compressor, gonna try and get rid of the worst cards in his deck, leave the most live draws he can. Plays the Keldeo on the bench. There's a laser. Attaches to the non-EX Yveltal. Muscle Bands and Versus Seeker back at the Colress, I imagine. Oh, he hadn't played the Colress. That was okay. Yeah. Ultra Ball. Seismitoad. Nope. Considers getting Seismitoad, but just doesn't take anything. Muscle Band on the Yveltal EX. This can be one of the more frustrating spots for me. Dark Patch making a huge Yveltal. And there's a knockout, and this is Mia's last draw. It is a roller skates. It's a tails, and that's going to be the game. Chase Moloney takes game 1 over Mia Violet here in the top 4 of the Seattle Regional Championship. Pretty unfortunate game for Mia there, just not a lot going on. Didn't get to play supporter the entire game. And definitely, you know, at that point, it's not indicative of how the games go, of course. You know, Mia wouldn't be playing the deck if that's how most of her, she wouldn't even be here if that's how most of her matches worked out. But it puts me in the position where she now needs to have 2 reasonable games. So it's like, you know, she got unlucky, lost the first game, and now she has to win 2 straight without getting unlucky again. You know, she has to, whenever you're down, it's just so tough to come back. And Mia can definitely do it. You know, we've seen it happens all the time, but it's really disheartening to be down a game that you lost purely to luck.
Juniors and seniors, top 4 cut, you may begin.
As always, On the Bubble is brought to you by Top Cut Central. Check out topcutcentral.com for all of your singles, sealed product, and accessory needs. Go over to topcutcentral.com and pick up some Roaring Skies packs or some Shaman EXs, some Rayquazas or Reshirams, and use the coupon code BUBBLE for 10% off your order. Supporting Top Cut Central does directly support us. They're the reason this can happen. And if you like the streams, if you appreciate the content, definitely check out topcutcentral.com and make them your one-stop shop for all of your gaming needs. They really do support us a lot, and they're really the only reason it can happen. So, you know, if they're making this happen, and then they see that they're getting value out of it because people are supporting the store and shopping at the store and talking about the store, it does matter a lot for us. Player's gonna get set up here. Taking a mulligan. Our other match is Oscar Morales, who you saw in the top 8, playing against Andrew Jackson. Andrew's opponent no-showed, so he didn't want to disclose his deck. But it'll be interesting. We do know that Oscar is playing the Mega Manectric deck, which Chase says he doesn't want to play against, but is not a terrible matchup. You know, the Archeops does still prevent the Mega Manectric from evolving.
Video game players, you have about 2 minutes to register for the Premier Challenge. About 2 minutes to register for the Premier Challenge.
And we're going to see game 2. Mia's going to start us off. Seismitoad opening. Going for the roller skates, misses it. She not have a supporter again. Wow. She has a laser, she has a muscle band, she has things going on, but I don't think she has another support. Oh, she has an Ultra Ball. Okay. She can theoretically Ultra Ball for Jirachi, which may just be what she needs to do. But I hope she's going to go ahead and pass it to her. Maybe she doesn't play Jirachi. I can't remember if I've seen it. Chase is going to stay asleep. Top decks a Hypnotoxic Laser of his own. There's an Ultra Ball from Chase. And Chase is going to work really hard to rid his hand and deck of all the item cards he possibly can. And what Chase is doing here, the reason why it's taking Why he's looking through his deck multiple times to just make sure what's in his deck versus what's in his prizes, and that really can determine his future decisions. Looks like we a little bit of camera action there, but things are still mostly all right. We're going to see a dark patch there, and there's a sycamore. So Chase starting things off okay. You know, he got out of that poison. Mia has to find a DCE to be able to Quaking Punch next turn. He has a dark patch. He has a DCE as well that he can attach either to that Yveltal or the Keldeo. So he's starting out pretty reasonably. Don't know if he's going to be able to attack. Didn't see the rest of his hand, but besides missing the attack, he's going to start off a pretty strong hand.
Video game player Bailey Wood. Bailey Wood, could you please come up?
Archeops, Darkness Energy, and Maxis. Entering the discard pile for Chase off of the Battle Compressor. And there's a dark. Chase is considering putting a dark on that Keldeo, be able to retreat it later with Dark Cloak if he gets a Darkrai EX out. Debated between attaching the DC to it or attaching the DCE to the Yveltal, but ultimately decided to attach the Dark there. It's a really good, you know, when Chase isn't going to be able to attack either way, and when you have a spot to get a Dark down. Oh, there's a Versus Seeker from Mia, so she may play Jirachi and just not want to fire it off. I'm not actually sure. I imagine that she would have just tried to dig for it last turn though. So I don't know. Additionally, as I was saying, so when you get the Darkness Energy on a Keldeo and you can do it kind of for free, i.e. when it's not going to hold you back from attacking, it's really nice because you can rush in and then with Dark Cloak, just from the Darkrai EX, just retreat at any time. So Chase is just taking the advantage and saying, hey, you know, I know that Mia's stumbling a little bit here, but we're just going to go ahead and do this. You know, we're going to set up for a longer game. We're going to worry about being too overly aggressive. And going through Mia's deck, I don't see a Jirachi. So, wow, two unfortunate hands for Mia. This game is far from over, though. You know, she's going to start to the Pokemon here. She can get a Keldeo here, and then not have any trouble. You know, she'll have a few more turns of staying alive. Additionally, that Keldeo is asleep, which if Chase can get unlucky on those flips, that'll swing things his way for sure. Now Mia is just taking the time to double check what's in her prizes. Plays the Keldeo. And is just going to have to pass the turn here. Last card in her hand is a Versus Seeker. Rush in, protect the Seismitoad, pass the turn, Chase flips, and that's head. That's going to be a big flip. It's going to allow Chase to capitalize on the advantage he has here. Hypnotoxic Laser is the draw. That head is also a big flip. If that Keldeo can stay asleep, it's going to be a big game. And there's a Sycamore, discarding 2 more Sycamore. So if this game does go long, it might hurt Chase a bit if neither player can find their trump cards. And there's an Ultra Ball. Chase will need to fire off the Ultra Ball for a Darkrai so that the Keldeo can retreat. But that's fine. It's something he wants to do anyways. Darkrai is the ability is great. He wants to get rid of the item cards while he still can. Even attacking with it's fine. Darkrai is one of the best attackers in the game. And
I don't know. So if pairing goes up, I can leave.
You have to leave?
If pairing goes up, I don't know when pairing go up. Pairings are going to go up. Damn.
Alan Wynn was going to join us in between rounds of the League Challenge, but he has to go try and crush that. So Chase is going to go ahead and find Darkrai EX. Discarding. What did you discard, Michael?
Discard it. Ultra Ball with discard 2 lasers.
Mm.
Ultra Ball to get Darkrai.
Force to discard 2. 2 lasers there. So the dark patch in hand. I'm not sure if there's a darkness in there. Chase once again building up the aggressive Yveltal. I'm going to do 120 here. 130 after the poison, and Mia's back is firmly against the wall. She wakes up, which is the first step. She draws, and it's a Sycamore. Okay, so on her third turn of the game, Mia is getting some things going. I see a super scoop up. I see a muscle band. There's an acro bike. Sees Toad and one other card. Discards the Toad. Takes a Sycamore, which is her supporter for the turn. I think she wants a super scoop up. Yeah, super scoop up. All right, super scoop the Keldeo, and Mia is right back in this game. Still on the back foot. Chase has a huge lead with that big Yveltal, and Mia does not have a way to attack with the Seismitoad this turn, so she is just going to go ahead. I imagine Tool, Scrapper, and Rush in. Looks like she's debating doing just that now. So certainly, Mia's certainly not dead. She's certainly behind, so we'll see. That Sycamore draw was big, though. If she hadn't drawn that Sycamore, that probably would have been the game. DCE is the top deck for Chase. That DCE plus a laser will knock out that Keldeo. If Chase can find it, not sure what's in his hand. He did play a laser earlier and then discard 2 of them off of the Ultra Ball. So that might be a tough sell. He also has the ability to attach the DCE, rush in. If he has a dark patch, if he has dark energy, do that and then retreat back out. Looks like he's going to go ahead, deal 90, attach to the Yveltal. Draw for the turn is Acrobike. Finds versus Seeker Super Scoop Up. Takes the Super Scoop Up. Tool Scrapper, the Muscle Band. And I think we're going to see Super Scoop Up the Keldeo. Misses the flip. And there's the Sycamore. Alright, so Mia wants to see a DCE this turn. A DCE would be big, and she misses. Wow. DCE wouldn't have bought her all the time in the world, though. If she did Quaking Punch, it would have been a knockout from that Yveltal, which is really kind of the inevitability of Yveltal, is that, Chase currently has 5 energy. I guess it actually wouldn't have been a knockout. Because the muscle band was knocked off. I apologize for that. But if Chase finds anything after Quaking Punch, it would have been a knockout. And this sleep flip is big. Mia retreating just to conserve prizes, but decides against it. What Mia's thinking here is basically, my Keldeo is almost knocked out, but I want to conserve the prizes. I don't, if I can prevent Chase from taking prizes, I can slow down the game. This flip's going to be pretty big for Chase. It's a tail, so Chase is gonna, actually, sorry, it's not big at all because of the Keldeo rush in. All apologies, I forgot that was active now. Rush in. Chase gonna go ahead and take a look through his discard pile. There's the retreat. Lysander gonna take the prize here. Jinx goes up. The draw is the DCE. So now the lock is gonna be in place, but might be a little bit too late. Chase just needs any energy to make the knockout happen. Wow, the third DCE. 200 damage. It's going to happen right now. Chase takes 2 prizes. Mia draws a card. for the turn. It's a super scoop up, ultra ball, weakness policy in her hand. Wow, Mia just too little too late, it seems like. Promotes the Duskull. Yeah, looks like we're going to go ahead and see Compressor out of Chase. This game is very nearly over, but like we said, Chase has to be sure to make the correct plays at all times. Chase gonna take a peek at his deck. Another Yveltal. I imagine Chase will, because he'll be down to one prize, he will likely Y Cyclone move the DCE to that other Yveltal just to kind of make sure nothing bad can happen. But he also could just go in and Evil Ball for the knockout and just kind of not worry about it and kind of hedge against anything happening. Or not hedge, or kind of just try and protect himself from... try and ensure that he can just win the game off of another attachment on basically anything. There's a muscle band on Yveltal. Darkness energy. Going somewhere, yeah, on the evil. Oh. Considering putting it on the basic. Nope, or sorry, considering putting it on the non-EX, but decides to put it on the EX Dark Patch. And now he's just building up a huge Yveltal knockout. Draw step is random receiver, so we are going to see. We're going to see a Sycamore here. But with one prize versus 6, Chase has 2 big Yveltals on the board. I think it just might be too late for me here. Pretty unfortunate draws for me in all match, but I don't know. We'll see what happens here. There's a super scoop up. Mia risking it all on the super scoop up. Draws just not fine. Okay, she finds some plays. I see computer search. She's resolving the acrobatic now. She's a Seismitoad, but yeah, that super scoop up play there should tell you something. Should tell you that Mia does not think she is capable of winning this game. Roller skates. Super scoop up, and that's the game and the match. Chase Moloney advances to the finals here in Seattle, Washington. He will be playing against either Andrew Jackson or Oscar Morales. We haven't seen... Fortunately, we did not get to see Chase's Archeops tech there, but hopefully we can see it in the next match.